The human body, a frail meat sack that somehow managed to create such genius inventions such as hot pockets and digital watches over thousands of years. But how did we do that? The world is seemingly built to kill us with bugs, bears, our own stupidity, bacteria, and viruses. Well, we have some of our own protections. We have 3 lines of defenses, each more aggressive than the last. We have defenses against pathogens such as bacteria, viruses, protists, and even fungi. I had a hilarious comedian friend who stopped taking showers. Now he's just a fun guy. For the sake of visuals, let's have our cells look like bees, because they are both super useful and we would die without bees or cells. And the pathogens should be wasps, because like pathogens, wasps are probably Satan incarnate and wish to take over the world. The first line of defense has one job, and that is to stop pathogens from entering the body. One of the defenses is skin. Skin is like a screen door. It keeps bad things like wasps from entering and lets air and water in and out. Another defensive part is the mucous membrane. The mucous membrane is like a wasp trap. It traps pathogens in and sweeps them away. Mucous membranes are located in the nose and mouth. Then there is secretion, stuff like saliva, sweat, tears, and mucus. These secrete an enzyme called lysosome, which breaks down the pathogen. It's like a wasp trap, but inside that wasp trap is a bit of acid that destroys the wasps and sends them back home to eternal damnation. Then there is a less than satisfactory defense in the first line. That is the flushing effect. The body uses sneezing, puking, watering, and other things to get rid of the pathogen. There is no wasp metaphor here. After the first line of defense, there is the 31st line of defense. I'm kidding. There is the second line of defense. If the first line fails to keep a pathogen from entering the body, then the second line of defense mounts a general attack against the pathogen. There is the inflammatory response, which occurs when tissues are injured. In the inflammatory response, there is dilation, the attack of phagocytes, and swelling. Dilation is when a chemical called histamine dilates the area and sweeps white blood cells into the tissue. Phagocytes then eat the pathogens, like a bird eats a wasp. Then there is swelling, caused by dilation, where the tissue becomes irritated and plasma leaks into the area. This prevents pathogens from moving as quickly. The body also induces fever to raise the temperature and slow the growth of pathogens. It also increases the activity in white blood cells. This is true. Japanese honeybees will kill an attacking wasp by gathering themselves around the wasp and raising their body temperature, killing the wasp. If bees aren't metal, I don't know what is. There are also interferon proteins. They are released by cells infected by viruses and signal other cells to start producing virus-stopping enzymes. If a pathogen somehow manages to surpass the first and second lines of defense, then there is the final and complicated attack from the third line of defense. This includes the use of the helper T cell, the killer T cell, the plasma B cells, the antibody complex, the suppressor T cells, silver bullets, and memory T cells. I lied about the silver bullets. Pathogens are easier to kill than werewolves, but not wasps. Kill one wasp and 2 rise again. Anyway, helper T cells do what they do best. They help. Specifically, they help activate memory B cells and killer T cells. It's like your younger sibling running to go tell on you to your parents. Killer T cells, also known as cytotoxic cells, puncture the virus-infected cells and that causes them to burst. It's like shooting a zombie, but instead of shooting it in the head, you poke it with a needle and it bursts. Memory B cells are basically the same as memory T cells, and they both store the antigens for a particular pathogen. Suppressor T cells produce chemicals that stop other immune system cells after an infection is under control. Lastly, there is the humoral immunity. This is when antibodies bind onto pathogens, which marks them to be destroyed. The plasma B cells create those antibodies, which attach to the pathogen's antigens so that the pathogen can die. The pathogen is then devoured by a phagocyte. It's like putting a muzzle on an evil wasp and killing it while it can't defend itself. Most times, our immune system works pretty well. It fights against attacking pathogens like a rock cannot. That is a true fact. And that's how the immune system works. Thank you and bye.